Grand Rising Divine Legends. This is a class for really bringing in the radical recovery 7 steps. And just, it's also a little bit of grief class as well. If you have had any loss, such as a death, a divorce, perhaps you surrendered a pet, like I did this last week, we will go through waves. And when we are in a wave of feeling like perhaps we've disassociated from the body and we're triggering really easily, perhaps our nervous system is a little bit extra sensitive. And I am sharing my practice with you today. I'm sharing my practice with you as I am celebrating becoming a mother 22 years ago on this day. And life doesn't look exactly how I truly desire it to with my firstborn. And I'm honoring him in his journey. I'm allowing him to figure things out for himself. He is 22 today, right? 22 years ago, I birthed a baby, and I'm really grateful and thankful. And there's some grief I'm processing, absolutely, as we are not currently talking in any kind of communicative relationship right now. I know it's temporary. I know that. I'm very aware that it's all temporary. All of life truly is temporary. And I'm so incredibly grateful for this practice, for the radical recovery practice, for the universal law practice, right? Knowing universal law, knowing that the law will always, always precisely show me where I'm limiting myself, where I've gotten in my own way with limited belief, with limited thinking, with perhaps disassociated from my actual physical body and upsetting way too easily. I'm in a huge transition this week. I'm in a move. I am stepping into a brand new chapter that's beautifully confirmed in so many ways and so exciting. And as you follow me and know, I often refer to my life as the cosmic joy ride with Yeshua. I'm very aware that it's so critical, especially in this huge transitional time of life, for me to tend to this form. And I'm pointing specifically to the area of the form that really needs to be reminded just how safe we actually are to keep going in the direction that we're going. And with awareness of, I've got a physical body, I have an emotional body, I have a spiritual body within, and I align those back through this practice of recovering, taking responsibility, right? The radical recovery program, those 7 steps of accounting for where am I feeling upset, or where am I feeling out of alignment, or where am I feeling less than I truly desire to feel. I take responsibility that I am the creator of my reality. I forgive myself where I was out of alignment through limited belief or dogmatic programming or a decision in mind that I made with limited understanding. I forgive myself. I come back to the truth that I am the creator of my reality. And I am so grateful, right? That sixth or that fifth step in the 7 steps, my very favorite, the radical attitude of gratitude, because how could you not be grateful? How could you not be filled with gratitude when you get to that place of, oh yeah, I remember, I'm the creator, I decide, I get to choose. And committing once again to that alignment. And from that place, taking inspired action. So we're on the mat right now with gratitude that I can align my emotional, my spiritual, my physical body once again for this day to continue packing, to continue facing memories of a marriage that dissolved after 12 years, facing memories of my kids at ages that I may have parented in ways I was only aware of what I was aware of, right? We have to recognize that where we show up in life and want to be disappointed or upset with ourselves, we have to recognize we did the best we could with what we had. So honoring that as I come into memories or photo books or whatever in the move and seeing that, oh, okay, I showed up in this memory less than I would have desired to show up, but I know now more than I knew at that point in that memory, and honoring me at every stage that I did the best I could with what I had. That brings me back into that place of understanding that my life is unfolding perfectly permanently. And with that understanding, we're going to start the practice, because I know that I could go on and on and on and teach, but I'm going to do that tomorrow in my weekly Ascension Anthem and Universal Law call that I put out on Mondays. So I'm going to save a lot of what I'm about to teach on for tomorrow. And I'm going to bring us into the practice. So this is really truly to recover ourselves and to process any grief that comes in waves when we experience loss in life. And I'm suggesting that you get a pillow. So I have a bolster because I've got a practice that I've had a long time. So I've picked up the tools to support that practice, and a pillow. A pillow works just fine. A stiffer pillow, maybe from your couch, could be really nice. And we're not going to use it right away, but we're going to have it to lay back on and kind of bolster up our torso to open the heart a little deeper. But I'm coming into a seated position, straightening the spine, rolling the shoulders back. Let's roll those shoulders a few times back away from the ears. Sitting up nice and tall, closing the eyes down. Hands can be resting gently on your knees. And we'll start with 3 cleansing breaths to begin our practice. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth, open, awing it out. Taking that first inhale. Two more times on your own. Keeping the breath in the body. Taking the inhales and exhales through the nose, attempting to lengthen that exhale longer than the inhale, dropping into the parasympathetic system. Perhaps pausing for a second at the bottom of the breath before you take that next inhale. Perhaps pausing at the top of that inhale before you take that next breath. On your next inhale, left hand on heart, right hand on belly. Feel the belly rise, the chest rise with the inhale. And the belly come back toward the spine and the chest sink with the exhale. Just connecting with your body. A few more breaths like this. Really arriving on the mat, letting all of the day that's happened already go. Any part of the day that's still left to come, let it go. Taking the time to nourish our form with the breath. And we're going to set an intention to start our practice. Perhaps it's to remind yourself how supported you actually are. To feel your feelings, to move the energy of grief, of sadness, that loss that you may have experienced recently, to allow those feelings to move through your form. Don't make yourself wrong for anything that comes up. Breathe through it. Setting your intention for this practice, we'll seal it with a hum. It's the Om. And if that feels uncomfortable to you and you want to go straight to the and just hum it, we powerfully set the intention for the practice with our hum. With the inhale, we see the intention at the top of the breath, and we seal it in with that Om sound. Taking that big inhale. And sealing it with that Om. Opening the eyes, letting the arms come down by the sides. We'll begin to move the neck. One direction, and then the other. Keep the breath coming through the nose, out the nose, long and smooth. Two more times. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Take your right hand gently on top of the head. You're not pulling at all, just a little bit of pressure there. Feel that stretch deepen along the left side of the neck there. And then take your left arm, extend it out, spread your fingers. Tuck your thumb in, make a fist, and then spread the fingers again. Tuck the thumb in, make a fist, spread the fingers. Tuck the thumb, make the fist, roll it out one direction, then the other. Make that wide spread hand again. Turn that palm away and you're gonna half bind, bringing it behind you, stopping it where it stops, maybe on that left hip, maybe a little closer to the middle of your back. If it can come all the way over to that right hip, you have a little bit more mobility, and that's all that means. Dropping that left shoulder down, taking one last breath here. Right hand drops down to the right hip, maybe meets the fingers if they're close. Taking one more breath. Release your arms. Next inhale, drop your chin to your chest. Take the head back as far as you can, lifting that chin up. Take a breath. Neutral with your head. Take a breath. Other side, left ear to the left shoulder. Breathe there. The left hand comes up, adds just a little bit of pressure, not pulling at all. Feel that deepen along the neck. Right arm extends out, spread the fingers. Tuck the thumb, make a fist. Spread fingers wide. Make the fist. Wide. Make the fist. Roll it out. Switch directions. Spread it wide. Turn it away. Half bind somewhere behind you. Left hand drops down to the left hip. Last breath. Next breath, drop the arms, chin to chest. Head back, chin up, as far as you can handle. Last breath. And neutral. Good. And we're going to start to flow, dropping that left arm, reaching that right arm overhead. Inhale, arms overhead. Drop the right arm, reach that left arm. So we'll inhale overhead. And we'll exhale into that side body stretch. I'm turning my palm up always to open the shoulder up. Notice the shoulder opens as I turn that palm up. Inhale up. Exhale. A few more times. Morning practice, just waking the body up. Last round. And other side. Now a little twisting as we inhale up. We'll twist to this side first. Inhale. And twist to this other side. Nice and tall through the spine. Twisting from the waist, not pulling into it. Staying tall through your spine. Maybe looking back over that shoulder. A few more rounds. One more each side. We'll come through center, spread these arms wide. We're going to cross the opposite arm on top. So my right leg is in front. I want to cross my left arm on top into eagle arms. So we'll find either the hands on the shoulders for eagle arms, or we find those palms come together if we have a little bit more mobility in the shoulders. Because it's the morning and I'm just waking my body up, I'm gonna start here and then lift these elbows up to my chin so that I really feel the stretch on the backs of the shoulders. From there, tighten that belt around your waist. You're gonna start to tip forward. Keep your back flat, keep your chin up. You're not tucking the chin at all, and you're not coming very far. As soon as you feel your hips lift up, you've gone too far. So I can feel I'm about to stop right here. I didn't come very far at all. Keep that belt really tight, and you'll just come side to side and go slow. Use your breath. Keep your elbows lifting. I notice I'm dropping them down as I'm talking to keep that stretch happening on the shoulders. And we're waking our obliques up, a little bit of ab work here as we're getting also into our hip. Keep the breath coming. One more pass through each side. And then you'll come down the center, you'll drop your arms and you'll round down. So this is where you tuck your chin, round the back, maybe elbows all the way on the floor. If you have your pillow nearby and you can't get down to the floor, you could lift the floor up to you with your pillow. This is where we're in the hip on the leg that's in front. Keep breathing. Feel that nice stretch down your back into your neck. Keep breathing. Last breath. Inhale your torso up. Exhale, shoulders soft away from the ears. Switch the leg that's in front and we'll come right to those eagle arms again. Other side. Nice and tall through the spine. Keep the belt tight around your waist. You're protecting your low back. If you're really tight in your hips, I know you see me come into this cross-legged really easily because my hips have a lot of mobility. If you are having a lot of trouble, even getting blocks can be really nice, or pillows. If you don't have blocks yet, pillows can be really helpful to support you being in a seated position. Because I recognize for some bodies, the seated position is not easy. And I started us here, so I want to support you there if this is not easy for you. So finding that other leg in front and tightening that belt, and then spread your arms. Your shoulders are soft away from your ears, and it's this other arm that's going to come on top. And eagle arms, right? I'm going to find those shoulders again. If you have this in your practice, awesome. Lift the elbows up to your chin height. Keep that belt tight as you tip forward. Remember, not very far. And then start to sway side to side. Use your breath. Last breath. Take one more big breath here. And come through center. Drop down, tuck the chin, curl the spine, use the pillow if you need to draw that floor up to you so you can really drop down into this and begin to open that hip on the leg that's in front. Breathe into that. Drop your shoulders away from your ears if they're creeping up. One more breath. Inhale your upper body up and grab your pillow. We're going to lay back onto the pillow. We're going to get into a knees apart. I'm sorry, feet apart, knees together for right now. And just allow your arms can be wide, dropping down the sides of the pillow. And really allowing this upper body to open up. We've moved some energy with those seated postures. So coming into this heart opener right now, make sure your low back feels very supported. I pushed my hips up against my bolster, my pillow, so that my hips feel my low back and hips feel very supported. My chest and collarbone are wide, right? I'm opening up, it's pushing my heart out a bit. That's the point of the pillow. With the palms up and arms wide to the sides, the shoulders are also opening up. This is a very vulnerable position. I'm going to take you here again after I move you in just a moment. But I want you to get the feeling of what is going on in your body here first. And just be aware how comfortable or uncomfortable this posture feels. To be so open and vulnerable. And when we're dealing with loss and grief, this can be a very scary posture. This takes a lot of courage to be in a position where we feel so open in our heart. When often all we want to do is close our heart when we've experienced loss. And so I'm going to move you for a moment to bring comfort and safety back in if this is really difficult for you right now. I'm going to have you take your right hand up and cross it over your chest. Grab behind where that bra strap might be. And then that left arm comes up and over the right arm, hugging behind that shoulder bicep area. Giving the upper body a hug. Take your knees apart, bring your feet parallel to your hips, scooting them in a little closer together, but hip width distance. And you'll take your right foot, flex it, draw it up and over your left leg. If you have to draw the leg out a little further to get some space there, my bolster is providing opportunity for me to scoot this left leg out a bit and find more space. Keeping that right foot flexed, push your right knee away from your upper body. Push it away and stay there and breathe. Stay in the breath and just notice what's happening as you are signifying with this hug to your body that you are safe, You are safe to be here and you are safe to feel your feelings. And whatever emotions may be coming up, it's energy to move through the body. So we allow it and release it without judgment, without criticism, and without really having to understand why. It's truly unnecessary to understand why emotion, energy is moving through the body. It's really loving to just allow it to move and release it with compassion and tenderness. And so by pushing this right knee out, we're allowing the psoas muscle to be tended to. We're opening up this pelvic region just with the breath, holding the upper body, breathing down into that hip area. You got a couple more breaths here. We're really allowing for the integration and the alignment to happen with the emotional, spiritual, and physical bodies. Taking a last breath here. Unhook the legs first, so draw that right foot back down to the floor. Take your arms apart. Go wide. Let the elbows be heavy toward the floor. Take your feet apart, knees come together. Back to this open-hearted, vulnerable posture. Take 2 breaths here and just notice. Come to this other side for support. So you're going to take your left arm up and over. Right arm comes up. Hugs the chest. Bring the feet parallel to the hips. Okay, you said the wrong foot last time. I said your right foot flexed to that, but I meant the left foot. So this time the right foot. Forgive me if I cued that wrong. Just do the opposite foot, because that's what happens in yoga, is we can get confused on the sides. When you're teaching in front of people, with people, your left and right starts to get very jumbled in your brain. So just flexing the other foot, it doesn't matter which side you did last time. There's no right or wrong in this at all. I'm pushing that foot away to get a little more space to cross this right foot over that left thigh. And then I'm pushing that knee out. And again, I know I'm calling out the same sides, but just do your other side. Wherever you were last time was perfect. Do the opposite this time. Push that knee away, breathe in there, and just notice what you notice. Last breath. Draw that foot back down, feet go wide, knees knock together. Arms uncurl, wide. Palms up, elbows soft. And we're gonna end here. And I'm gonna invite you to stay here as long as feels good for you, because this is a recovery grief practice. I'm not gonna move you out of this. I'm gonna allow you to move out of it on your own, knowing that this is where the magic truly happens. This is where the alignment happens. This is the integration. This is the remembering. This is the being. This is the breathing into knowing that I am enough right here, right now. All is well. And so it is.